you, Taylor.
Welcome to Community Journal, Channel 18's program. And once again, we are pleased to welcome Michael Lach, the director of the Harwich Conservation Trust. And Michael, you had a very successful owl program last month.
Yes, the beginning of March right here in the community center. I have to say, hats off to the community center again for the terrific staff here. What a wonderful resource. This owl show in its 8th season attracted, again, several hundred guests.
Wonderful.
All ages. You were there. Thank you for being there. 3 programs, owls, 8 different species. Marcia and Mark Wilson bring these owls like this one here, the Eurasian eagle owl. They bring these owls. These owls have permanent disabilities, so they can't be released into the wild. There's Mark and Marcia, the dynamic duo with that eagle owl on the left and Marcia holding that stunning snowy owl. And there's some spectacled owls from South America that they also brought one of those. And so the Wilsons have federal and state permits to bring these owls on these tours, educational tours, very unique. People get to see these owls up close, learn about their behavior and the mystery of owls. I mean, really, most of us never see an owl, very rarely, if ever, and maybe we're lucky if we hear one. There's a barred owl, B-A-R-R-E-D. And believe it or not, there's been a barred owl heard and seen in Harwich Port this past January, February. That's very unusual. They're making their way back onto the Cape, but very few of them and very intermittent sightings. So that's pretty neat. And you have Mark here with a saw-whet owl on his left hand and a screech owl on his right. Also these 2 owls found on the Cape, and very small little things, aren't they? Quite the big personalities, though. Very confident little raptors.
Yes.
Again, most of these are nocturnal. There's a nice shot of a screech owl at night, just poking out of a hole in a tree, which they nest in. That's what they look for, to nest in cavities, tree hole cavities. And you can actually buy bird nest boxes with a right size diameter hole that'll accommodate a screech owl. Good segue. One of our sponsors, Birdwatchers General Store, has those screech owl boxes. Right, there's a snowy owl there, beautiful once again.
Now, can you tell anything from their voices, from
Look at that.
their sounds?
Yeah, actually, Marcia will do owl calls, and then she'll invite some of the audience up to do hooting demonstrations. But if you're talking about listening to them in the wild, I mean, for instance, in really still winter nights in January, late December, January, February, you can hear greyhorns calling sometimes, and you'll hear the lower call of the female and a little bit higher call of the male responding to each other if you're there at the right time. There's Marcia with a little screech owl and some orangey red fiery plumage there. But our other sponsors really made this happen, whether it's Cape Cod Chronicle, Cape Cod Times, Harwich Oracle, the Register newspaper, and Cape Codder, I think I mentioned that, and the Cape Cod 5-cent Savings Bank. So people had a great time once again, and we were amazed. 8th annual. We didn't expect over 700 people to show up, but we were very pleased because it's a great way to introduce people to these amazing creatures that they would otherwise have a very rare chance of seeing and hearing.
It's true.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So we'll have them back again next year.
You will, for the 9th year.
Yeah, it's a great way for us to raise funds to save more land, including wildlife habitat for owls.
Very good.
So yeah.
And you also have some walks going on, do you?
Yeah, we also had a believe it or not, another event since the last time you and I spoke. We had the Meet Your Local Farmers event.
Oh, that's right, the farmers.
Yes, and that happened just on Saturday, March 23rd, again here at the community center. And people come from all over. I mean, we had farmers from around the Cape showing us their different products, telling us about their farms. There's Donna Eaton pictured. She has her own Cedar Spring herb farm right here in Harwich.
Here, yep.
Yeah.
We've been there, I think.
Yeah, she's wonderful. She's got a great spot there. And, we had Cynthia and Matt Sutphin, who own the Cape Cod Lavender Farm. We had Leo and Andrea Kakunis, who have a lot of cranberry bogs. We had Jim Canarium, who owns Miss Scarlett's Blue Ribbon Farm on 6A in Yarmouthport. There he is pictured there. He's now the Cape and Islands Farm Bureau president, which was the co-sponsor of this event with Harwich Conservation Trust. This is the 4th annual Meet Your Local Farmers event, and hundreds of people streaming in to meet the farmers and, again, learn about their farms and their products. I mean, we had farms, again, all over the Cape. You had Cape Cod Sea Salt Works from Orleans. They're harvesting salt from seawater, kind of a throwback to the mid-1800s. You have Wes Price, pictured here, who was talking about mushrooms. He leads a lot of mushroom walks, some of those for us in the right season, usually in the fall. You had folks from Barnstable, E&T Farms, had honey and greens. Buy Fresh, Buy Local was there with a table. You know, they're always advocating for locally sustainable food and farms. And it was just terrific. And again, you know, they brought some farm animals. Miss Scarlett's Blue Ribbon Farm, they brought some geese and ducklings, goslings and ducklings. They brought a turkey. They brought some interesting chicken breeds.
Now, was there room
some
for
lambs.
all of these people too?
Yeah, there were. I mean, well, it's interesting. We had it in the multipurpose room here.
Yes.
And, we're considering going to the gym next year because it was such a great turnout. It's a lot of fun, and it's really kind of synergistic with what we do at the Harwich Conservation Trust because, we have some common ground, if I can say that, with farmers in
protecting the land,
being stewards of our land and water resources.
Right.
So it was fantastic. It's such a great event, and people have a really good time, connecting with the farmers.
That's great.
Yeah.
And now I guess we can talk about walks.
Sure. Yeah, walks. We've got some great walks coming up. April, big month. We're excited about spring just as much as everybody else after our long winter.
It's true.
And we've got an early spring wildflower walk coming up on Saturday, April 13th, led by Rich Eldred. Okay. He's the environmental feature reporter with the Cape Codder, and he is such a knowledgeable botanist. Anybody who goes on his walk really appreciates his knowledge and his style. It's just terrific, and it's a great time of year to see some of these early wildflowers, these spring ephemerals. They're just out there for a short while before the summer season kicks in. But he's a great resource. That'll be a great walk, again, April 13th. All these walks I'm mentioning are on our website, harwichconservationtrust.org. But on April 19th, we have HCT's Ryan Mann leading a walk along the bike trail for all
from where to where?
Physical abilities. He'll be starting at the Headwaters Drive bike path parking area, but again, there's directions on the website. And he's calling it bike path biology. So from the bike path, he'll be pointing out different natural history features, and it's wheelchair accessible since it's along the bike path. And
sure.
So that's a great opportunity. April 20th, we'll be having Todd Kelly back to give a talk and walk about bird watching at the Banks Tree Bogs Nature Preserve in Harwichport. Terrific time of year. I mean, just, you can hear the bird song on these sunny, still mornings.
I heard them coming.
Did you? Yeah, me too. And they're obviously inspired by the increased daylight and the weather. So. So it's a great time for birding. And also in April, we'll be hosting a vernal pool exploration walk at Coysbrook Woodlands, along with Wellfleet Audubon. We've been partnering with them on a few walks this spring, and they're a great resource, very knowledgeable, and we're excited about co-hosting another walk with them. So it's all on the website, harwichconservationtrust.org, and if the web isn't your thing, just give us a call, and we'll mail you. We'll mail you one of these schedules so you can put it on your fridge. But our phone number is 508-432-3997.
Very good. And I guess you also have your winter wine dinner?
Yeah, spring wine dinner. Yes, yes. Fantastic. You know, Cape Sea Grill hosting us again, 11th annual spring wine tasting dinner at the Cape Sea Grill in Harwich Port. Jen and Doug Ramler. They also make this wine dinner fundraiser possible by virtue of donations from local businesses. You know, we've had folks donate wine. We've had folks donate the food. And so, you know, these are all local businesses. They're making a go of it here on the Cape just like everybody else. And so it's very generous of them to support this fundraiser on our behalf and on the behalf of the Sea Grill. But it's Sunday, April 21st at 5 p.m. There's limited space, so encourage people to reserve early and often through the website, harwichconservationtrust.org. It's $100 per person, but that includes a multi-course dinner with wine pairings and tax and gratuity, all for $100 per person at a fabulous location, the Cape Sea Grill, and amazing award-winning cuisine. And it helps us raise funds to save more land. And it's nice to have it on Sunday, April 21st, because that is the eve of Earth Day. Earth Day is the following day, April 22nd, sort of the national day celebrating, you know, caring for land and water resources on Earth Day. So we're sort of jumping on that as well by having it on the eve of Earth Day. So come on and reserve now and join us for a wonderful evening of delicious food and fun.
Sounds very good.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. We're excited about this spring and soon after the summer.
Well, you've had a lot of things to be excited about, and that's always good.
Yeah.
And so we hope that everything works out very well for you.
Thanks, Paul.
And thanks again for being our guest.
Absolutely. Look forward to it again.